So, welcome everybody to the World of Ability Podcast Network. Uh, I am Emily Gomer, one of um, and so we do this show every Saturday at 1 o'clock Central, and I'd love to have everybody join us. But we do have a great guest here today. We have John Coyle with us today, who uh, is a global keynote speaker. Uh, Global keynote speaker on 500 plus stages in 20 plus countries, including the royal families of Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Oman. And he's an Olympic silver medalist and an Emmy Award-winning storyteller, and also a professor at 3 universities, Stanford and Kellogg graduate, and an award-winning and best-selling author of a couple of books, five-time TEDx presenter. Is also a seasoned executive. Former head of innovation for Fortune 500 wireless telecom company. He's arguably the world's leading expert in design thinking when it comes to strengths and perhaps art, and arguably the world's leading expert in chronoception, which is the nonlinear nature of time perception and how to slow down time by designing meaningful moments. Oh boy. It's quite the Welcome to you there, John. So why don't you come in here and say a little more about who you are, what you do? I'm glad that you're here.
I'm glad to be here. Emily, are you in Wisconsin?
Yes, I'm in Wisconsin.
I lived there for quite a number of years.
Oh
Trained
yeah,
at the Center and lived in Milwaukee, Waukesha, Milwaukee, all over the area.
awesome. Um, so yeah, it's impressive. Like what? So it's being an Olympian. Like what did you do at the Olympics?
I was a short track speed skater, so I competed in uh, the 500 meter, the 1,000 meter, and the 5,000 meter team race.
Oh well, impressive.
Thank you.
Um, so here, getting my things here. Um, uh, So it's like what's the most like defining moment of your Olympic journey that um people maybe never even see like behind the camera kinds of things.
Now, I always ask, like, what was the there? And so they want to hear, it was amazing. It was the best day of my life. You know, unbelievable, rewarding, memorable. The reality is, I wasn't really there. We had just finished racing, still pretty hard. Uh, so we walked up there 5 minutes after the race. They put the medals around our necks. I kind of looked around. I was like, should I keep skating 4 more years? I don't know. I hope I don't have to get drug tested tonight because it's pretty late already, and I'm probably going to get stuck here for a long time, and then I'll miss the celebration afterwards. Like I was just thinking about a whole bunch of mundane, the importance of that moment. And to be fair, they've sort of fixed this glitch. These days, if you watch carefully at the Olympics, more often than not, most times, unless it's really critical, they give the people that want a medal some hours. They don't give them a medal that day for our period before they finally be appreciative, have all that gratitude and all those good emotions. So these days they give it to you a day later at a bigger award ceremony. Uh, so I guess that's my not defining moment for the Olympics. But it is the gift that keeps giving. I'm able to still reference something from a long time ago that people somehow still think is important. So that's the defining moment. The one since then that I still get to have conversations about it, like with you. I think you are on mute.
Here, I have plug it on mute here. I had uh, so so you're saying about a chronoception, like what is that, or how did you get into part of that?
The chronoception wasn't even a real word about 10 years ago, but I glommed onto it as it was coming into more daily use by regular people. Chronoception is the study, or it's the human perception of time, how we experience time through the lens of the human brain versus just a clock. And even though we pretend the clock is the way we experience time, it's we all know it's not true, right? Time speeds up, it slows down, days race
Right.
by, days disappear, days feel like forever, months feel like a week feels like a year feels like a month. Like our experience of time is anything but linear. And
Yeah.
so what I've been doing for the last 12, 15 years is studying, well, how does that work? How is time constructed by the human brain? And then very specifically, prescriptively, if most adults feel that summers are getting shorter and the time is speeding up, how do we slow, stop, and reverse the perceived acceleration of time most adults feel and experience the endless summers of youth again?
Right. Because it seems like whenever as I've gotten older, time seems to get like faster.
Time speeds up the older we get, by and large.
Yeah, because I always seemed to go slower when I was younger, seemingly. But yeah.
Right.
So it's interesting. I see Marianne on here too, but with so she's a couple of books and stuff, but with your books, um um how did you get into like writing your couple of books or whatever? What are they on?
The first book is a book of poetry about time.
Okay.
Second book is called Design for Strengths, and that's a story that encapsulates something called design thinking, which is a method of creative problem solving out of Stanford that I was fortunate to
Okay.
stumble through while I was in college, and specifically how I applied that process mindset of design thinking to the sport of speed skating when I entered my skating career. And so
Maybe.
mechanism while in college, and then when I graduated, I moved in and trained with the Olympic team for skating, including at the Pettit Center in Milwaukee. And the team put me on a program of fixing my weaknesses, which turns out are many and varied. And that didn't work out. I went 12th from 12th in the world to 34th in the world to not even making the team 2 years later while
Oh
training full
jeez.
time with the Olympic. Yeah,
Oh
that's
jeez.
not what you expect. That's not what you expect.
No, no.
But I did anchor back to design thinking, the core question of which is if you are solving a problem, you're not seeing progress or success, you might be solving the wrong problem. Like that's the
Okay.
core of design. Are you solving the right problem? And so I decided that fixing my weakness wasn't the problem I wanted to solve. I decided instead I would double down on my strengths. And so I quit the team, not the sport, started training on my own. And in my sport, hundreds or tenths of seconds determine first from second almost every time.
Right.
So I trained for a year by myself. I show up to the exact same competition 1 year to the day later. I hadn't raced in between. In my first race back, broke the US record by nearly 5 seconds, broke the world record by a second, set
Oh
every single
well.
US record back to back, and went on to win a silver medal that year, which is to say designing for your strengths is the way to go. And
I
that's the
would say
title of the
so.
book. And that's the title of the book.
Awesome. So
All
have
right,
you
so
always in
go ahead.
go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you, Emily, what is your, this is my favorite question for people. What's your superpower? What are you best at?
Oh jeez. Uh,
You're on the spot here.
and I know. Um, I'm not sure. I have to think out one on that one.
All right. come
Just
back to that.
put on the spot here, but yeah. Uh, but so what's your superpower then?
Well, in sports, uh, I learned that my superpower was make sure we don't freeze going through it. I'm gonna wait 1 second to answer that. See how we're doing it. It's a little done. Okay. Uh, I learned that I was a sprinter that was good at short, you know, sprints. So my my strength as an athlete was as follows: generating a lot of power for a few seconds against resistance with a short rest while traveling at high speeds, turning only left with a group of people trying to kill me. So that's the only thing in the world I was good at in sports, which you find short track speed skating and velodrome cycling. Uh, in I hope my superpower is taking complex research data information from disparate sources, consolidating it down to a simple group of metaphors and stories so that people can understand, react, and make positive change. So you
Okay.
can let me know if that is.
Yeah. Positive change is good. So did you like grow up in sports and the whole where you went to the Olympics for, or how did you get into like the whole like
Like
skating and the whatever?
my dad was a big cyclist and played hockey. And when I was 2.5, he started freezing the backyard of our house, which he continued to do until we lived at a lake 6 or 7 years later. So by 2.5, I was already on skates and skis.
Oh
By
wow.
4, I was on bikes. And by
So
8 years old,
started early.
yeah. So by 8 years old, I completed 13 century rides, which are 13 100-mile bike rides,
Oh
which if
wow.
you think about how many 8-year-old kids did that in the country or in the world, it's probably about one. So I got my training in early. I had my 10,000 hours in early.
Yeah, I don't know any 8-year-olds doing that, but never know. There could be some, but yeah. Um, and then so was your his dream to be in the Olympics, or did that come later, or how did that
Yeah, I mean, I was
start?
pretty, despite, spending a lot of time on a bike and skates, I was a pretty normal kid. I don't think it registered that I could even try out, much less go to the Olympics until I was well, when I was 15, I managed to make what they call the world team, which is the Olympic team in a non-Olympic year for speed
Okay.
skating as the youngest member of an all-adult team. And the same year, I made the world cycling team. So I went from sort of doing fine on a regional and state level to competing at an international level in two sports all in the same year. So that was probably the first year I had a glimpse of, okay, maybe I could take this all the way to the Olympics. And, eventually did for speed skating. I got close with cycling, but didn't quite make it.
Oh, okay. Um, um, I think. Um,
Did you do any sports growing up, Emily?
I was in like volleyball and track and a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Um, let's see, how do I have any questions here? Um, I know we have Marianne, do you have anything you'd like to say at the moment? I know you're charging your phone. But let me um, so so like you already made source of this, like what's the like design thinking and like how does it help with the whole like strengths and
Oh, sure.
what things like
And that,
that?
that is really the core of the book, but I'll walk you through the 5-step process of design thinking. It's been around since, I guess, the early 90s at Stanford is where it came out. And then the other name for it is human-centered design. But the 5-step process is as follows. First is you have to accept there's a problem, which sounds obvious, but we've all got people in our families that are unwilling to do that.
Right.
The second is to define the problem thoroughly. Do I really understand the challenge that I'm facing? Have I really looked at it from a bunch of different directions? Or am I just jumping to conclusions well ahead of really understanding it? The third, which is really the core of design thinking, also called human-centered design, is empathy. Do I have
Okay.
empathy for the person, people, situation that I'm solving for? If I'm solving a problem through my lens, then I'm solving my problem, not your problem. Fourth step is to generate ideas, ideation, generate ideas without judgment. That's a really important part is ideas should be generated in a very safe environment. As soon as you start shutting down people's ideas, they stop stop sharing their ideas. And the last, test things out, repeat, improve, test, improve, and eventually you'll hopefully get to a working prototype or a solution to the problem that is actually meaningful. So that's design thinking in a minute, 5 steps, but it's a pretty useful process to go through when you've got a complex problem. And it's, as I always say, if you're struggling to solve a problem and you're using the notion that the simplest given answer to any problem is the likely the right one, that's probably true for simple problems, but not true for complex problems. So complex problems have complex answers. Simple problems have simple answers. Make sure that if you have a simple answer, that you have a simple problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah, where are you located right now?
I am currently in a car headed from Las Vegas to Laguna Beach, California.
Oh boy. So do you live in California or like where are you
I just
currently?
moved actually from Las Vegas a few months ago to Laguna Beach. And so
Oh,
that's
okay.
current home, yeah.
What were you doing in Las Vegas?
Nothing, suffering through the heat.
Oh geez. I know I've heard this like triple digits out that direction.
Oh yeah. It's 110 already. And
Oh
it's gonna
geez.
get up to 117 today, I think.
I love
Yeah,
oh well.
pretty awful this time of year. I didn't mean to stay in Vegas. I came here during COVID, ended up staying for a few years. There's Las Vegas has some really amazing attributes, not the least of which is you're close to the Grand Canyon, Zion Canyon, Bryce Canyon, Death Valley, Mojave Desert, like Joshua Tree. There's so many natural wonders within a short drive that it's a great jumping off point for exploring. But it is over.
Oh, okay. So what made you go from Milwaukee out to like California or
So I lived and trained in Milwaukee for uh, mostly for 8 years. We 1 year we trained in Germany. 1 year we trained in Lake Placid, but most years it was in Milwaukee. So that became home for a while. And after I retired, uh, or an actual job. And so I moved actually to Arizona, lived there for a few years, moved back to Wisconsin, to Madison, lived there for a few years, and then I lived for about a year in Chicago before moving to Vegas during COVID, and then I moved to Laguna Beach just 3 months ago.
Oh, well.
Luck.
Yeah, no, I see we have Helene joining us. Helene, welcome. Yeah, Helene lives out in the Vegas area, so welcome, Helene.
Sorry, I'm late.
No worries. You're not late at all. So we have John here, who's has quite the background. He's an author and Olympian and a number of different things here. So yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry I missed your story. I want to hear. We have to get together. So where do you live now, John?
He's
I moved to Laguna Beach, California 3 months ago.
Oh, beautiful. Laguna Beach is beautiful. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, Henderson.
Oh, we're driving through Henderson right now.
Are you really?
yeah.
Are you in Vegas now?
Yeah, I'm passing yeah, what's that one called?
Yeah,
Well, why
he's
don't you stop in
South
town
Park.
for a little while? We could meet.
Next time I come here often. My girlfriend's family lives here, so yeah, I just moved from here, so we have lots of ties here. We're here every other week, it seems like. But yeah, we're passing South Point right now, and we're heading to Laguna, but I'm sure we'll be back in a week.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to meet you. And yeah, because I'm actually helping nonprofit. We just launching nonprofit TV Las Vegas, just being launched
Okay,
here. So it's a great way for
great.
nonprofits to be seen, getting, airtime, and I'm getting different venues to host it and businesses. So
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. I'm real excited about this opportunity to help nonprofits be heard.
nice. Have you been in Vegas for a while?
Since 2022, I moved from Chicago.
Oh, I moved from Chicago in 2021.
Really? Oh my gosh, we have a lot of common. Where did you live in
Yeah,
Chicago?
I split time between River North downtown and Schaumburg.
Oh my gosh. So I used to, when I was in Chicago, I had my own window treatment business. I did window treatments, draperies, and I worked with Walter
Okay.
E. Smith as one of the head designers in Willowbrook, in Oak Brook at the flagship store.
Yeah,
Did you ever shop at Walter E. Smith?
I passed it, but I don't think I ever went in. No.
Yeah. Well, had you come in, we would have met sooner.
That's true. Yeah, I was out in Oak Brook a lot when McDonald's used to have their headquarters
Right.
there.
Right. My son owns restaurants in Chicago.
Oh yeah, anything I've heard of?
Well, I don't know. Let's see. The 50/50 group, Roots Handmade Pizza, the Homestead. Uh, let's see. There's so many. Kinling Steakhouse in Willard Towers. It's right in Sears Tower, main steak restaurant. Let's see.
Okay, I'm aware of it, but I haven't been.
Okay. Yeah. He used to be the president of the restaurant board. He was very
Oh wow.
active during COVID, helping first responders. Uh, my son is quite an amazing owner. He helps the
Yeah.
community, helps nonprofits. So he did a lot during that time. Thank God he's a
You're right.
survivor because so many restaurants closed down during COVID. It was really tough
Right.
times.
Chicago is particularly rough. Chicago,
Yeah.
New York.
So
I
you're
was
an
in Chicago at the
author.
time. Yeah, go ahead.
So what books have you written?
I'm working on my third, but the first one was called The Time Manifesto. It's actually a poem about time. The second book, full-length book, is called Design for Strengths, Applying Design Thinking to Individual and Team Strengths. And we were just talking about that, Emily and I, a bit, but it anchors to a creative problem solving framework out of Stanford. But then through storytelling, it sort of illuminates how you can use that process to improve your life in a myriad of ways. But in my particular case, it helped me to end up going to the Olympics.
Wow. I can't wait to hear more about you. We'll definitely have to connect and meet.
Sure. Next visit to Vegas, no problem.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
Not right now. It's too hot.
Oh, horribly. I cannot, it's really hot right now. It's like 118. So
Yeah.
hot. And I need to get my air conditioning has to be fixed in my car. I think I have a leak. So I have to
Oh,
have some Freon pumped into there. So right now, I
that's,
got it.
I
I
can't
have a,
imagine being in a car without air conditioning right now.
well, you need it. I mean, it's cool, but it's not cold.
Okay.
And the problem in Vegas, if you are in the car and you park for 5, 10 minutes, even if you have those sunglasses on, it gets hot. And if your air conditioning is not functioning the way it should, I get sweated up. So, yeah.
It's rough. Laguna is really very temperate. It's usually 75 every day, lows of 68 every
Nice.
night. Like really perfect. If you go inland, it warms up pretty quick, but near the coast, it stays really, really nice and cool. And
Nice.
I didn't even know that when I moved there. So that was a really nice surprise.
What made you move to Laguna Beach? I mean, it's beautiful there. I love
Yeah.
California, but it's expensive.
Well, so that's what my belief was as well. I looked at it many years ago, and in my head, I was like, well, I can never afford to live there. But the thing I discovered, and you might have had this sinking feeling as well, is Vegas has gotten very, very expensive.
I will say it has. I mean, yeah, you don't have to pay state taxes, but it makes up it for in other ways,
Yeah,
Food is very expensive here.
it's very expensive.
Every
More,
time I go to the grocery store, it's
yeah,
my husband and I, 150, $200 for just 1 week of groceries. And I said, we didn't even buy that much. I mean, it's crazy how expensive it is. Just, it is what it is. I guess when you like to eat healthy, it costs more to eat healthy.
well, that's for sure true. But what I realized visiting Laguna the last couple times is restaurants, food, coffee, groceries, everything's actually less expensive there than Vegas. And rent
Really?
and rent is not a lot more. It's not significantly more.
So, okay, so you're renting.
Yeah. Now buying is impossible right now. Um, but those markets adjust. So right now the renters market is vastly superior to the buying market. But those things, they invert over time.
So, anyways, did Marianne come on? I haven't even gotten to Marianne, did you get a chance to share? She's an amazing lady, Marianne. She's an author as well, Acts of
Okay.
Kindness.
I
And
know she was charging her phone. I don't know. I said she came on before, but I haven't heard her say anything yet. But whenever she's ready to come in, I'm guessing she will. But yeah.
I'm a matchmaker, John.
That's what you do?
Yeah, I matchmake businesses to each other, and I help businesses connect to the right sources, pretty much, solutions. I help people save money. Right now, I'm focusing on nonprofit. I help the veterans. I'm doing a lot of work to help veterans. And I'm also people with disabilities. So I've created I've created my passion. And
Awesome.
it's all now working together, my ecosystem to create. And like one of the things that I'm also really want to educate younger people on why it's important to get insurance. Prepare for I do life and health, and I just was working with this young man, 35 years old. He is getting the best IUL with all the living benefits, $50 a month. That's crazy,
It's affordable when you're younger.
right? So yeah, so that's important too, to educate people on planning ahead. So who just came in, a Zoom user? Oh, is that the Marianne?
Yeah, that's Marianne.
Okay, Marianne. Good to see you. I'm happy I connected Marianne with somebody wonderful for her. I'd like,
Hi, hola. Yes, I was trying to upload this background here. Helene, thank you so much. You introduced me to Ken, Dr. Smiley, who has this new program for book authors and opportunity for speaking events. He was in Washington, D.C., so we briefly spoke for a half hour. We're going to connect this week.
good.
So this is a website that you can check out as an author, and you can schedule a call with him to learn more about it. And so thank you so much for the connection, Helene. It's something to look forward to, because my books have been idling. And as my understanding, these authors have people review your books,
Mhm.
and yeah, to kind of get it out there to the world now. So I'm excited to take this opportunity as he's gifting it to me.
He's
Um,
awesome.
and in turn, Helene, I have sent referrals to him, such as Michael Hummel, the co-host with Sue Roscoff on the World of Ability and the Today Show and the Milwaukee Radio Show. Has books, and he is in a wheelchair. And so I sent Ken his pictures. Another friend, Maria, that I met down here, wrote some children's books with turtles. So I sent her the website, and I sent him a picture of her, and hopefully there's a couple more other referrals I sent him too, as I started going through some photos and everything. So again, it's going to be a great opportunity to coordinate and move forward.
I am so happy to hear that. You don't even know, because when I met him at Freedom Fest, I don't know if he told you, but I told him about you. And I go, I have someone I want to introduce you to. He was so grateful. In fact, he is such a nice guy, and his business partner, I got her information. Stephanie, I think. Oh gosh, no, I don't know. I forgot her name. It's either Monica or Stephanie. Because when you meet so many people, but he and I really he actually does a lot of work with Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. He's published a few of his books. And actually, I met Ken through Barry, and then Barry was not at the show on Saturday because of religious reasons. So I was at the show, and I really got to get to know Kenny very well, and we spoke. And Ken's actually a good friend. Well, and they've known each other for a long time, with my friend Lewis, who's getting ready to launch a website. He's all about bringing people together. So all I will say is that everything happens for a reason, and I could not wait for you to be introduced to him. So I'm happy. This is going to give you the result that you've been wanting.
Yes, I agree too. So I'm looking forward to it. And I know we're kind of going with the show here. I had some ideas, Helene, after the show with Kurt or Sue Roscoff on Wednesday after Milwaukee Radio Show. And as you can see here, my books are available on donorschoose.org. I had a special education teacher request 50 books, and she was funded in 2 weeks. And they shipped out the books to
Oh,
the
good.
classroom, and I went on campus. Now, this was back in 2019, okay? But my pitch is to everybody who joins us from different cities here in Las Vegas is to research on Donors Choose the local schools in your zip code. And we'd like to promote these school names, teachers, and the classroom are requesting stuff. So for example, Miss Jordan's classroom in Wisconsin uh, is requesting to have funds of $140 for a hamster. And it lists all the items that they would need to have a pet hamster in the classroom. So I think as a public service announcement that we post this, and it's Browning Elementary School in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Maybe some parents or grandparents are listening on the radio or watching this and go, hey, my children or grandchildren go to this school. I didn't know she was still needing this amount of money to raise for classroom products. And I think if we all give our little part, Santa Papa John's in Minnesota, Debbie Miller is in Kansas City, we have Wisconsin, you're in Las Vegas, John's in Las Vegas, you know. So I think because we're going back to school now, that we should make a little public service announcement about the local schools in your zip code that are requesting products from donorschoose.org. And who knows, maybe we can get them as guest speakers.
That's why I'm looking forward to nonprofit TV to launch in Vegas, because this is exactly the kind of public announcements that a hosting venue would post. So but what I'm going to do with you, I think what would be really good, I would like to have um, on LinkedIn, if we were to go to a group where there's teachers, schools, they have groups. And this is for everybody out there. There's a lot of different groups of different interests. So if you're in a certain profession, you could actually find a group that is suited to what you do, or who is your referral partner. So for Marianne, your referral partner would be schools, PTA, teachers, board meetings, because they would be doing fundraisers to enhance the books that you do. I mean, your books are just beautiful, great for kids, and it's a great fundraising tool as well. So, it's pretty much I call it a trifecta. It's a partnership of people creating 1 = 2 = 3. So and this is why Kenny for you is a great referral, because he does the shows and his passion is helping people. We're all here to help people. But your audience truly would be even possibly when they have, I would say the schools, I mean, libraries too, if they have the book signings or what they're featuring, but yeah. But it takes somebody to put forth, and that's why Ken is such a good fit, because he focuses on that full time. Okay, Emily, would you
Yes.
play the book trailer? John, have you ever seen Marianne's books of what she could
I
do?
have not, no.
Well, you're in for a treat. Oh my goodness. So yeah. So I mean, even where you live, I mean, what she has going, and it's also our water. But her books just they're truly, it's the acts of kindness. It's all about kindness.
Yeah, so the books are written for animation movies with sign language characters, which are 200 folk Manus puppet characters out of Emeryville, California. And they're hard of hearing, and they have sign language characters, learning the ASL finger spelling alphabet. And their first book is Underwater Acts of Kindness, and it's written for the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and dedicated to Boynton Slat. There's a garbage patch between Hawaii and California, and all this garbage is circling around. And these heroic marine characters are recruited by a sea turtle called the General of the New Earth Army to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California. So, Emily, if you could be kind to play Underwater Acts of Kindness, since John is located off of California as well, he understands. And we also talk about hearing loss, because we have 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss. We have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. So that was how the series started. I lived on a sailboat in Hawaii, oceanfront, and all this garbage was circulating.
We lost you, I think.
No, she'd end up muting, but I could play the thing here.
Thank you so much, Emily.
Yeah, perfect. So where are you guys now, John? What's your 20? You're muted.
Name of this place? Sure, name of it? We're heading towards, I think, the California border. I don't remember the name of the town though.
Oh, have you stopped at that restaurant with all the nostalgia? Oh my gosh, it's a famous restaurant. And they have all the nostalgia, all the different things with
Like-
movie stars, real, it's a diner.
Peggy Sue's Diner, yeah.
Peggy Sue, yes, yes. Have you been there?
Yeah, I stopped there on the RV trip many years ago. Yeah. Actually slept
I
in their
love
parking lot.
it. That's so much fun. It's a nice place, actually, and the food is really good.
And we'll pass that in about an hour and a half from now.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Oh. There we go.
What if you could help save the ocean just by listening to a story? Set sail with underwater acts of kindness. Join Noah, the hard of hearing humpback whale, and his marine friends as they take on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. On their journey between Hawaii and California, they discover an enormous pile of plastic, but with teamwork and courage, they plan to clean it up. With the guidance of Dodd General of the New Earth Army, they rally ocean creatures and you to help restore our seas. Now available on Amazon Audible, listen as author Marianne of Waikiki narrates this inspiring adventure, featuring mesmerizing music by Lucy and the Perfect Wave and Nick's guitar, echoing the sounds of whales and dolphins. This book is dedicated to Boy and Slat, founder of The Ocean Cleanup, making waves for a cleaner future. Sing along with Noah's song and dive into a world of peace, love, happiness, and thanks. After reading, visit the Acts of Kindness series YouTube channel for more adventures. Learn the ASL ABCS with Dr. Fingers, the fingerspelling hermit crab on YouTube, kids. Get coloring books now at www.actsofkindnessseries.com and Amazon. Plus, grab your New Earth Army t-shirt and pledge to protect our planet. Underwater Acts of Kindness by Marianne of Waikiki. Available now on Amazon, Audible, and actsofkindnessseries.com.
I love that.
It's really cool.
That is really cool, Marianne.
Thank you. So we have applied for a San Francisco film grant between $5,000 and $25,000. They're offering grants for disabled, I don't want to say producers, authors, whatever. And we have applied. We hope to receive that $25,000 in October with Brennan Williams accepting it out of Prestige Media, who help can we bring it into an animation movie. So that's my goal, has always been.
Love
So-
it. This is really awesome. Yeah, I haven't. Emily, would you please share the link of this trailer in the chat, please?
Yeah, they're all on the World of Ability Network. And also then I have YouTube Kids with the ASL fingerspelling alphabets with Dr. Fingers, the fingerspelling hermit crab, Eve, the fingerspelling bumblebee, and Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken. So if Emily wants to play, if you guys want to watch another one, we have the 4 book trailers while we're here. We have time on our hands. Emily, if you want to showcase the other ones you have, that would be fantastic.
This is, you know what? Every book tells a story. What was that song? Oh,
And
God.
next week we will be doing the book launch with Santa Papa John on August 8th. It's actually my birthday. It's Lionsgate. And we'll be reading the book Righteous Acts of Kindness featuring Kono the Hawaiian Polo Pony. I'm traveling to Tucson and for business and medical, and I hope to meet Derek Espinaza, who has been on the World of Ability and the Happy Neighborhood projects during COVID. He was my tax attorney, and he's in a wheelchair. So I hope that we have lunch on Saturday and be guest speakers on the World of Ability podcast. And Santa Papa John will read this third book as we're doing every Saturday. We've been doing a book club, a chapter a week. So we're on the third book, and this book was a short book. And Amazon came back and said, it's too short of a book. It's only 20 some pages and it needs to be, I think, 30 or whatever.
Wow.
So I had to add coloring pages of our self-portraits of Suzanne Sims, my writer, Lucy Lynch, Auntie Renee, and myself as well. So Emily, you have this video too. It's called Righteous Acts of Kindness, book trailer. And then I created Apple app games with counting in sign language numbers on the polo field. And the polo field was in the North Shore of Oahu, and counting rainbows, counting mallets, everything like that. So I had created online courses to go with the books and the chapters, but those are up on hold now with Apple. So we'll see what happens with that. Not that many users, but yeah, that was the intention to the whole packs, the books, the coloring books, the Folkman as puppets, animation movies. And, you know, again, no one has done anything for special needs. Our deaf community, our autistic community, and children who learn sign language tend to cry less. They have a higher IQ. Autistic children, and you know, we all experienced what it was like during COVID to be 6 feet apart and not be able to hear each other or read each other's lips. So imagine what's really going on. So by giving a total communication of, you know, sign language and finger spelling, alphabet, and numbers to our artistic community who is nonverbal, this would really, you know, lighten their eyes up. And, you know, parents too as well, by teaching baby sign language, teaching I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, change my diaper, mommy and daddy. Our children, you know, pointing to the colors of their clothes and picking them out for themselves. So there's a lot of good things that can benefit from it, and it's a lot of fun. We're born into this world pretty much nonverbal and expressing our basic needs, and we may be later in life in diapers in a nursing home expressing those same needs. I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, change my diaper, nurse or doctor, caregiver. So it's a circle
Don't
of
think
life.
about that right now, Marianne, please.
Oh, well, we're not, but there are people
I
in
know, I know,
and
but you
not
know what?
please, there's people in the hospital
I
that
know,
can
I
that
know,
can
I know. It
benefit,
just,
and nurses and medical
yeah, that's
professionals
true.
are using sign language. Okay,
That's right.
so
That's
there
true. You're
is a
right
need.
about that.
There is a need, so we're
Yeah,
sharing.
totally in need. Absolutely. And you know what? What you're doing, I love it. And another awesome technology is what AI is doing to help people communicate as well. AI has really, really become a way for communication. And even like people who have hearing and visual, they're able to utilize the AI to communicate. So it's also got a purpose for sure. But
Yeah,
your
so
book, yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
sharing the whole story that how it's going to benefit the world. So the people will love
mhm,
the different characters, and especially with this book too. Also, this is a horse, and you know, people use equine therapy for special education students too, riding horses.
right.
So this is just part of the package. And the opportunity that I got to be present in the polo field and being out there with the musicians and signing for my deaf friend, and
Right.
so these are all well thought out books
It's
with
compassion. They're all about compassion, empathy, and like, you know what? Life, everybody has a different chapter. Everybody, that's why we have to be very blessed and grateful for what we have. Not everybody has the same blessings, but whoever but for people who are that need a little more caring, we just always have to be compassionate and say we're here to help you. That's what it's truly, no matter what level, having people understand and be grateful to be there to help. They have to be compassionate to help each other. And what you've created, Marianne, is compassion and understanding for people who have special needs. And everybody should be understanding that we don't live in a perfect world, you know, but it could be we have things to access, to understand. So we're hearing what it's having the correct hearing to see what people need. And you do that with your books because it's showing a different mindset of helping others. So, you know, a lot of people are writing books about this and that. You're actually writing books about helping children, adults, others, using sign language, which is amazing. In fact, I'm happy I'm seeing this because schools that are just, for disability, these are great books.
Thank you. And this is what's happening around the world, okay? The garbage and ocean cleanup and bullying, and now the climate change that we dedicated to Leon McLaughlin Clean Water Foundation as well. We hope he joins us. He's bringing water units worldwide, and we dedicated that book to him as well. So these are all about global topics that are happening as well.
Well, it's great. It's really, they're wonderful.
So thank you again for introducing me to Ken, Dr. Smiley. I'm looking forward to our meetings and referrals to him and help other authors, artists to get on this platform.
I wish he
And
was on the show right now. Can we send him a link? I wonder if he could join us.
I don't know if he was, mentioned it to him. He said next week he would. He was traveling. So you can remind him if he'd like to come on. That's no problem. But I know for sure he said he'd like to be there next week.
Just to maybe drop in and say hi. Okay, let's see here. Because he wants me on his TV show. Let's see, Ken. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I'm sending him a text on our group.
So John, I think you're a storyteller. Like, how did that come about, or what do you do for that?
Yeah.
You're muted, John.
Storytelling, I think. Still? Can you hear me?
Now we could, yeah, it's a little low.
Okay. I think it's an underrated skill, and skill I think is the right term because it's learnable. But we know that 94% of human behavior is driven by emotions. And to the 6% left, trying to make everything rational and logical and data driven, and that's all important. But the old adage is true: facts tell, stories sell. Like, stories, I think, are the way to get through to people's emotions in an effective way. And so if you can have a framework that's data driven and research backed and fill in the gaps with stories, you get sort of the best of both worlds. You check the rational brain prefrontal cortex box, and then you also enlist the emotional response system of the audience or the people you're talking to. And when you can do that, you can help people elicit change in an hour. At least that's what I try to do.
So do you go read stories to different groups, or how does the storytelling play out in your world?
Almost all of my, so I speak for a living, and
Okay.
I'd say all of my talks start with a data-driven framework, research-backed data-driven framework, but 90% of the talk is stories.
Oh, okay.
So
That way,
that,
okay.
but really, the storytelling is what sort of today. I think that's been really effective for me in the world that I live, at least.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, Helena, you must be telling lots of stories.
Me? Oh, I got lots of stories. I could keep you busy all day long telling you my stories. Yeah. But when I was a little girl, my mom never flew. She never ever wanted to fly. And my dad was in insurance and they won trips all the time. So the one time she flew, they had to sedate her to get on a plane. And she
Wow.
literally, after that experience, my father says, I will never, ever, ever sedate you because nothing could sedate my mother. She was like, so we drove to Mexico City from Chicago. Now and we took my girlfriend who was from Argentina. So was and we had a big car. You don't drive to Mexico City. That was way before they had the road. I mean, it was like 2-lane highways, and we didn't know anything about any banditos. We knew nothing. But what we did find out is the fact that when you're in Mexico, they don't have car insurance. And I have to tell you, so, well, the way it was, we had to pull over to the side of the road because I got sick to my stomach. I was like, I felt that I was gonna, whatever. And I don't need to go into the details, but I was nauseous. So it was my mom and my dad in the front, myself, my best girlfriend, and my brother, who was a baby at the time. He must have been 3 or 4 years old. So I'm on the side of the road and I'm trying to, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, a herd of bulls are running towards us. I mean, if I'm telling you, there must have been hundreds of bulls. So I'm already thinking, ole, ole, what's going to happen? We're going to be history. As soon as they came by the car, because then my girlfriend's saying, Helene, get in the car. The bulls are coming. And so I'm like freaking out. We get in. We didn't have enough time to even pull away. So here are the bulls. They come and they literally just opened up, ran around the outside of the back of the car and the front of the car. Hundreds of them. It took around 5 minutes. They didn't tip over our car. And then in the middle was a little old man, a herdsman, with his tall cane. I will never forget that time of history. So that's a story, and that's a true story that I shared. I mean, all I know is that when we drove to Mexico, it was it was beautiful. They went to Mexico City with the beautiful university, gorgeous. But another story I will tell, when I was in Mexico City, back in the day, they didn't have refrigeration. So in the marketplace, they had the chickens, all the meat for dinner hanging, okay? And my girlfriend and I were like fascinated by this. And this little boy was chasing me with a mouse, and he wanted me to buy a mouse for $1. So there I am screaming, and so yeah. So I go, I'd rather buy chiclet than a mouse, okay?
Yeah.
So that was another incident. But one more thing. So we were told that when you're in the city itself, your car insurance, you don't have insurance. So they recommend that if you're in the city, this was back many years ago. I mean, I don't have to go how old I was, but it was many, many, many years ago. And we were in a taxi cab. Well, the taxi cab, they were crazy the way they were driving there. The taxi cab almost hit a little old lady. So she knocked on the window and she apologized. She says, Lo siento for getting in his way. So there's things that I will never forget. And, great stories, growing up, life, and how life has changed. So I mean, and when I used to go to Mexico to Cancun, but we'd fly and, never did I ever, but it was an amazing experience, that's for sure. So, have you ever driven to Mexico?
I have.
Really?
I drove my RV down to Cabo San Lucas. It's still there, actually.
Wow. Okay, but you drove it from California, though.
Well, during COVID, I moved into an RV for almost a year. Just my work dried up, so I was like, all right, gotta do something.
So we have that in common, but we drove from Chicago to Mexico City.
Well, I drove around the country. I drove up north, Minnesota, South Dakota.
Oh, so okay, so that was a long drive. So how long?
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably took us around 4 days to get there. It was but then you're with the family, and we would stop every so many hours. I mean,
When I did the Cabo trip, I took almost 2 weeks from Vegas to. I drove only 2-3 hours a day. I didn't drive very far. I was just visiting beaches and exploring.
nice. So,
But it was
Marianne, you have
pretty
any
safe
stories
when I
like
was
ours
outside.
to share?
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm in I'm sorry, San Carlos, Mexico, going on 4 years now. The captain of the sailboat in Honolulu, Hawaii, my neighbor, I sailed with him around the Hawaiian Islands, left during COVID. He sailed to Alaska, Canada, and then California. I joined him in San Diego. We sailed to Ensenada, stayed there for a month, sailed to Cabo, and I stayed there.
Wow,
And
I
he
love
brought the
that.
sailboat over here to the Bahia in San Carlos, Mexico. And I got a nice apartment. It was turning 55. I'll be 59 next week. So this is a great senior living. I have an apartment where they take care of my laundry, and I have a cleaning lady, and I have a pool outside my door with fountains. Um, and the captain comes over, and this summer he decided not to travel to the woods in the United States with the husky that we got in Ensenada. He sailed across the Sea of Cortez, so it's called Los Angeles, but it's not Los Angeles, California.
That's
So
beautiful there.
yeah, he just told me how clear the water is and everything, and we're waiting for this hurricane to pass through Cabo, and he's got some stories to tell me of being out there, the knots, 4 to 6 knots out there, and just the waves. I couldn't just imagine. Um, but he just called me this morning to let me know that's where he's at, and we're expecting some rain as the hurricane is passing. So, yeah, we travel back to Tucson to get our visas, and we have a storage unit. I just called for him with a storage unit for picking up boat materials. A lot of boaters are down here, a seasonal that we met. And yeah, it's kind of a nice new community down here. And
I
I
love
have a vet.
that.
Yeah, I would have never put this on my I don't want to say a to do or bucket list or I didn't know list, but here I am. There's my pool, and they built a brand new hospital down here. I had my eyelid surgery, which was they wanted $4,000 at the hospital, 350, and in Tucson, a doctor did it for 125. The dental is amazing. The fresh vegetables. And my writer, Suzanne Sims, relocated from Waikiki, Hawaii to Akihi, Mexico, where the Unity Church Namaste is. That's where I met her at the Unity Church of Hawaii. So, yeah, never thought I would be here, but we're loving it. We're sailing. And, we're doing things right. I did some book signings in the community last year at the Chris camps. I taught the finger spelling alphabet to the campers where they're learning about the wildlife and rehabilitating them. And I taught Dr. Fingers the finger spelling alphabet, the ABCs to them. And now my neighbor upstairs is a veterinarian. I don't want to say, he's a doctor doing his social work at the Crifts Hospital. And yeah, it's been amazing. Bilingual community, a lot of Canadians come down. There's an RV park down the road. I believe Dina's going to be coming down this year. I told her about it, yeah, and my Canadian neighbors actually flew me up to house sit for her husband with dementia. I met another captain from Alaska I sailed to Mazatlan with. And then for that journey of going to Canada, they picked me up and took me to Vancouver Island. So, what a world of a trip. But I did book sign at the Vancouver Library up there with the books. I met another sign language interpreter and some deaf people with cochlear implants. And at the time, Jay Stoyan from the Disability Channel in Vancouver was interviewing me. So, we're just kind of, where we sail, book signing, opportunity to educate at. And yeah, and people are doing their part, especially for ocean cleanup. Beach, they're cleaning up the beaches. They're taking, pride in it. And so that's my experience in Mexico. I've been down here for 4 years. So it's much more affordable than Hawaii, and I had a great time. And yeah, everything is in walking distance. But the cost of living is going up down here. The marina rates went up 47%. The catamaran's no longer in business. Um, and groceries have gone up, restaurants have gone up down here. So just sticking to a budget. But yeah, so I'm an expat, and taking care of some health down here as well. Again, I'm recovering from the eyelid surgery. That cost me $125 versus $4,000 at a hospital, or $350. And it's $50 for a dental exam. So I'm submitting it to United Healthcare, and it was $50 for a mammogram at the new hospital. So just kind of doing some price comparison with shopping around with your health insurance plans and, medicines down here. And anyway, that's what I can share with you. So I have a great place, great landlord. She's an attorney and they rent it. And I've been here. They're good to me. I renewed my passport. They helped me out do that. And again, Captain Robert and I go every 6 months to the storage unit to pick up products for the sailboat. We get our FMM Visa card and return back down here. And other people come down too, so it's becoming, I think, more known, and they're building more condos. Brand new hospital. I guess the Mexican Mexican president is going to be building a boardwalk down in the beach area down here. So yeah, so it's been great fun. People leave because it's so hot in the summer, and then they return. And they have two good thrift stores down here. Woodness Riscotti thrift store, where all the money that they make goes to the EMT salaries. A lot of retired nurses, ICU nurses, surgical nurses live down here. They're retired. They volunteer every Saturday, Thursday and Friday, Saturday. And another thrift store here, the money that you purchase stuff goes to the children's department. I'm bringing this up because I go there every week, but I'm not doing that because I have to stay at home and it's too hot. And I was explaining to my friend Gabriella, we're shoppers. So I go, I don't feel guilty when I go to these thrift stores because I know it's giving money back into the community. So that's what we kind of do. And then they have events, and Robert plays piano as well. So um, that's our experience of being bilingual and helping the community down here. And we hope to do something with Leon McLaughlin Clean Water Foundation as well. They have the Rotary Club down here, and they have the SBCA. So they have a lot of fundraising events. So
Anyways, I need to leave. I have a meeting that I'm headed for. It was really nice meeting you, John, Marianne. We'll definitely connect. Thank you for what you do. Emily, thank you so much for putting this together. And we'll talk later.
Yes, and Emily, I need to go too. So thank you very much. Nice to meet you. And you need to connect with Kenny. And want to just give a shout out to our sponsors, On the Mark TV out of Phoenix, Arizona, nonprofit TV in Texas. Aline, who is going to be opening up nonprofit TV in Las Vegas. Kurt and Sue Roscoff with the World of Ability podcast. Every Wednesday, we have the Milwaukee Radio Show. And we have Jay Stoyan, founder of the Disability Channel out of Toronto, Canada, to thank, and our host and podcast engineer, Emily Goldmeyer. Thank you so much. Aloha, adios. Be safe, stay cool, drink water.
All right. So getting closer to California there, John? Or are we still in Nevada?
We're in California for sure,
Oh, you're in California. Okay.
but that's the desert part.
Oh, okay. Um, um, let me see here. Um, so if you could give, let's say, like your 20-year-old self like some advice, like what would it be?
I think I would have figured out what I needed to figure out what I was good at. So I was training the wrong way. I was studying the wrong. I eventually changed majors. I've actually switched training mechanisms, but are
We are frozen, but anyway, yeah, we are here. World of Ability Podcast Network. John Coyle. And so we are here every Saturday. I encourage everybody to join us if works in your schedule. We are from 1 to 3 Central. And so we have a number of different podcasts in the network. Looks like I just closed my thing here. But we have this one, we have let me bring up my thing again here. The Blue Collar Crypto on Sundays.
I'm back. I dropped them. Was in a bit of a valley.
There we go. We are back. So let me see. So what legacy do you hope to leave with what you do?
Well, my focus now for my next book, and I think it's sort of my life's work, is understanding how the human brain constructs time, processes time, remembers time. And, I hope 5 years from now, the word chronoception is as popular as biohacking or cryptocurrency or, you name a catchphrase. Because it's really important, actually. The way that we experience time was relatively little understood till fairly recently. And now we know it now we know that the mechanisms and how they work, we can design our experiences, our day-to-day lives, our years, our weeks, our months, to create the kinds of memories that happen before and after and leave us with the sense that we've been on this planet a lot longer than our 90 plus years versus a lot of people who experience time foreshortening the older they get. So that's the legacy I want to leave is I want to cure time poverty for people that have it.
All right. Well, like what's your favorite thing about what you do?
My favorite thing is I do really like standing on stage and giving a hopefully compelling talk to a receptive audience. And then maybe just as good or even better is talking with smart people in the room afterwards and hearing their stories and gathering further information. All of my talks are really built from conversation I have after a previous talk. So I enjoy those deep intellectual conversations or sometimes emotional conversations after a talk and building new thoughts and frameworks around how to think about some seemingly intangible concepts like time and trying to make them tangible.
All right. So what kind of groups do you go and talk to, or is it just here in the US, or do you do stuff like outside the US too?
I've spoken in 20 countries.
Okay.
I used to spend a lot of time the last few years until last year in the Middle East. So I spent for like 3 4 years. I was over there a month or two at a time. But now with the war and everything, I haven't been over since a year and a half ago, a year ago. Most common, at least the most obvious, would be conferences. And I do speak at a decent amount of conferences, but it's not the majority of what I do. Big companies, they gather their workforce together for a meeting and they want to bring in an outside speaker. A lot of those. But more recently, I've been speaking to and dealing with various organized groups like EO, which is Entrepreneurs Organization, YPO, which is Young Professionals Organization, Tiger 21, another organization around professionals, the Founders Club. These are all very successful, mostly entrepreneurs, not all, but mostly entrepreneurs that meet and gather, and they are particularly time starved, running their own business. And so this message seems to really resonate with people that might be financially well off, but when it comes to their time capital, their currency for time, maybe not so much. And so I really enjoyed helping some of these folks. They've been trading their time for money for their whole lives, but I help them figure out how to trade their money for time.
I'm sure they're possibly appreciative of that, about saving them time.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you have like a favorite group that you like to talk to, or just is it just anybody, or not really?
I do like entrepreneurs. They're the most curious, engaged, because they're always learning. They have a lot of responsibility to constantly keep up and understand what's going on in the world. And so I find that they're particularly engaged when I get to speak to them. But I really actually enjoy all the groups I get to speak to. But I say entrepreneurs are probably the most engaging, maybe the most fun as well. High energy people.
Yeah. So how did you get like interested in the whole like design thinking or the chronoception side of things?
So the origin story for chronoception, which was not a word when I first stumbled into this notion, really came from sports. In my sports, and a lot of sports. The difference between gold medal, silver medal, or even standing on the podium, or not even making the team, frankly, is very small and can really fundamentally change as an athlete. We're not small increment of time. Did you stand on the podium or not? That's a small increment of time. Did you get the gold medal or not? That's a small increment of time. So this notion that small increments of time can fundamentally change your future trajectory in sports turns out, as I moved into the real world, small increments of time determine our future. And the Greeks had figured this out ages ago. They have two words for time. We only have one. We make it work too hard, but they have chronos, which is clock time. That's the way we use it. Planes, trains, and automobiles. But kairos time, the deeper meaning of that is when everything happens at once, and the trajectory is reset. And the etymology for that word comes from the archer releasing the arrow. And so if you change that angle of the arrow being released, you get a fundamentally different outcome. That's actually true in real life. So often in real, did you sign up to do this TV show or not? Did you take the job across town or not? Did you say yes when he asked you out or not? Did you avoid the car accident or not? Did you get off at the right accident or not? Like, so many big things in life tend to happen in moments. And once you can start to get your arms wrapped around just how important certain moments are, you can lean into them, you can design for them, you can create them. And when you do more of that, create those fundamentally time-changing moments, it creates a perception of that life is much longer than when everything is safe, comfortable, and routine and predictable. So that's what I help teach my clients to do, is how do you design these kind of moments that change your trajectory and lead to alternate futures.
Awesome. Um, so when somebody comes to meet with you, like, what does that look like? Like a first, like a appointment with you, like, or like, how do you start going through the process with them?
Well, so when I get into the talk, one of the things I have to share with the audience is how memories are written, stored, and recalled, with the conclusion that ultimately it's memories are your currency for time. Like, what you write, store, and recall becomes your sense of yourself, becomes your sense of time, becomes, how long did something last? Something might feel like forever in the present tense, but that doesn't really matter. What actually matters when it comes to your sense of time is how long does it feel when I remember it? And a lot of times, really long, boring, routine days, they might feel really long in the present, but in memory they disappear to nothing. And sometimes you have days that sort of disappear like that, like the first day of vacation, but in memory they expand and become super highly dense and memorable. And so that's, one of the laws around time perception that I tease out is the law of inversion. This is the notion that the way you experience time in the now, in the present, is inversely proportional more often than not to how they remember it, with the supposition that only remembered time counts. Because the way you experience time in the right now is either lost or found, stored or not stored, stored but not recalled. Like that, memories have to be written, stored, and recalled to have weight and to count against your sort of mental clock. So designing experiences that are written, stored, and recalled will simply lead to a longer life perceptually. And Abraham Lincoln has a great quote about this, it's not the years in your life that matter, that count, it's the life in your years.
Right, it's the dash in the
That's
middle.
100%.
Um, so yeah. Uh, So why does time why does time to see I can't talk. Why does time to seem to fly when we get older?
Why does time seem to fly when we get older?
Yeah.
Because uh, really, well, it wasn't. People have all kinds of theories about this, but it's really quite simple. The brain is lazy. It's the hardest thing it does is write memories. So every 2 to 3 seconds, your brain, my brain is writing short-term memory. It's a long-term memory, and this goes on all day, every day. And it's a very difficult, complex task for the brain to do. Take in all this information, figure out where it should go, and then store it. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting, is that sometimes the brain just says, nothing new to write here. So I'm just not going to bother writing it down. So it stores nothing. You ever got to the parking garage to your workplace, you know how you got there? Well, that's your brain saying, nothing new to write here, I'm not going to do it. And so I would argue you weren't even alive then, because if you didn't write it down, then you didn't exist. And by the way, the brain is 28% of your mass, your body mass, but 3%, I'm sorry, it's 3% of your mass, 3% of your body mass in terms of its weight, and it's 28% of your calorie burn when you're sedentary. So it's like a giant light bulb on the top of your head. It's working very hard, burning a lot of energy. And again, the hardest thing it does is write memories. So if it doesn't have to burn bright and write down this memory, it just won't. So when things become safe, comfortable, and routine, it stops writing. Then there's the question, I already wrote it, but can you find it? And so those memories are also not as useful when it comes to your temporal perspective and your sense of how long you're alive. Because hidden memories or lost memories, all right, with a good hypnotherapist or the right scent or sound, sometimes you can find them, recall them, but those are also less useful when it comes to creating a mental yardstick for time. But the kinds of memories we really want to create are those that are written, stored, and highly recallable, right there, available at your quickest wish. And the unfortunate part of these types of memories is our brain is really, really good at remembering two types of memories that are exact opposite. And it really comes about evolution. But the first type of memory that it wants to recall is never do that again. Something dangerous, scary, traumatic, right? The brain basically says, please don't die. I'm going to remember this because I don't want you to ever do whatever that was again. So scary, traumatic memories will always be highly recallable and ready for you to find. And then sort of the inverse of that is always do that again. So really exciting, positive, good, loving, kind memories. And this, again, straight out of evolution, is the first one is please don't die. The second one is please procreate. Please have relationships with people you care about that care about you. This is why you're going to remember.
Oh, yeah. So here again, but let me. I'm waiting for. I come back here. Let me bring up my. Here. Not my. Bring up my slideshow going through. So and then Mondays we have Mission Monday with Project I Heard. Monday evenings, Tuesday we have Happy Bridge Show. Building Trust podcast and World of Pets. And on Wednesday is our Ability MK Now radio show, as well as the TC Canada radio show, and we have John back
Sorry
here.
about that.
Oh, no worries.
Can you see me again?
So you say you're writing your third book. Do we know when it's going to be coming out? yet? Or no?
My goal is to finish it by the end of the year, which means it'll be out sometime early to mid next year.
Oh, okay. So where could we find your other couple books? Are they on like Amazon or
Yeah, they're
in
both on
Barnes
Amazon.
and
Yeah,
Noble or where would you?
probably everything.
Okay, anywhere you could find books?
Yep. And my
Oh, okay.
website, everything is there, is johnkcoyle.com. So
Oh, okay.
books, blogs, videos, TEDx videos, uh, articles, everything.
So what did you give your TEDx talks on?
Let's see. The first one was on design for strengths. The second one was chronoception, the first talk on chronoception, and then the subsequent three to that have been variations of time perception, chronoception, time capital, how to invest time wisely, how to get the highest returns for your investment of time, things like that. So the last four really have been really all around that. Maybe I did one. I did one on resiliency. So how to be
Oh,
resilient in face of stress.
oh, okay. That's awesome. Um, so any other big projects coming up, or is it just your book, or what are you looking forward to? Anything coming up here in the future? Or where you looking to go here?
Um, no big projects currently other than the book. After the book, probably write a fourth book. Uh, but I really enjoy speaking and traveling and getting to know interesting people from around the world.
Do you have a favorite place that you've been or would like to go to?
I would really like to go to Portugal. I've never been there. I've been to 76 countries,
Oh well.
but I've never been to Australia. I've never been to Portugal. I've never been to India. I've never even been to Costa Rica somehow.
Oh boy.
But one of my favorite places in the world is the country of Jordan, which is
Oh,
Red Sea. But they have the tons of Roman ruins in Amman, the capital. Then they have Petra, which most people will be familiar with, which is these amazing temples carved right into the sandstone of the cliffs there. And then they have a national preserve called Wadi Rum, which is one of the most spectacular film from North Arabia, which is actually where he did live. But in Dune, Star Wars, you name a movie with a wild-looking desert, that's going to be probably where it was filmed. It's a really spectacular place.
oh.
Have you traveled anywhere fun, Emily?
Uh, I was over in Italy and Greece for like a week. Um,
Oh, nice.
but
This year?
no, it was a number of years ago. Um, but uh, I'd like to get back sometime, but haven't gotten back there yet. But uh, and I'd like to get to a few other places uh as well too. But I haven't been to as many places as you have though. uh,
I'm a little older than you too, so you can catch up.
yeah. Um, but um, eh,
In the
let's
middle of the
see
desert
here.
now.
Yeah.
pretty good signal, huh?
Uh, Okay, so like, what's a big misconception about people have about high like performers and so on?
The way the clock measures that each increment of time that we is equal to the last, that second is a second, a minute is a minute, a week is a week, month is a month, year is a year. And then if we don't experience time like that at all, the entire sort of sentence, which is time that in an entire year, for example. And so create the kinds of where, you know, a day might be worth for a month or did he? I think you're actually on mute now.
All right, so we'll do it this way. So if somebody was meeting you for like the first time today, what would you want them to know about you outside of what's on your like resume and of that kind of thing?
What's something I would want to share other than the normal stuff? Is that what you said?
Yeah. What's something you would want somebody to know about you?
Uh, I think. Well, I'm pretty. I read the books about human behavior, and one of my favorite is just simply called Be by Dr. Robert Sapolsky out of Stanford. And if you ever want to understand why people do what they do, that's a really great book to understand what drives people and their behaviors. And a lot of it just comes from the way the brain processes information and how the endocrine system, that's your neurotransmitters, your things like dopamine, endocrine, dopamine and serotonin, and oxytocin, and how all of the neurotransmitters work in tandem with the electrical brain function. There's a lot of predictable things that we used to think were unpredictable. Everybody yourself saying, well, why did somebody do such and such? Now more than ever, we kind of know what triggers people's behaviors in certain circumstances.
All right. Um, so like what kind of lessons from the competition with the Olympics and stuff still shape how you approach life and business and stuff today?
Can you say that once more? I'm so sorry.
So, winning the Olympic silver, takes a lot of sacrifice and that kind of thing. So, like, what kind of lessons from the competition stuff still shape how you kind of approach like life and stuff
Yeah, well,
today?
there's a couple of contrasting lessons I think that aren't always obvious. I mean, a lot of people that speak about sports performance, high performance, be it music, sports, business, the easy refrain, what you hear more often than not, is you got to persevere. You don't give up. You keep trying, and that's great advice until it's not. So sort of the conflicting advice is, yes, persevere, push through, work harder, don't give up easily, but also pay attention to the signals that the universe is giving you through feedback from others or your own body or your own wisdom or other people's wisdom, and say, wait a minute, all right, I've been at this for a year or two. Is this the right path forward for me? And sometimes it's not. So being willing to let go for better grip and quit something to do something even better, that's a lesson a lot of people miss in life. And I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I would not have a silver medal if I had kept training the way the Olympic team wanted me to train. They were good people with good intentions, easy to follow their advice. But when the outcome wasn't going to be what I wanted, that's when I decided to quit the team and train on my own, which is what I ended up doing.
Oh, okay. So guys, looks like we have else joining us here. It's like another John. We have John 1 and John 2 here today. It's awesome.
Okay.
He's a neuroplastician. So let's see, get him on here. Hi, John. John Kennedy.
Unmute. There we go. Whoops. Unmute video. Yeah, you never know when you join if it's the video and sound are on. Hey, John, how you doing?
I'm well. You, John. What's a neuroplastician? What is that?
Actually, it's based on work I did, contract I did for our military. Back in 2007, we started. It's basically a program I developed that rapidly changes the brain to be faster, more focused, and also recover faster from brain trauma. So originally it was Marines, Navy SEALs, snipers. So I've trained some of the highest performer people in the world, improve their performance. Now I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and professional athletes. At the same time, it also helps people with everything from dementia to even autism lately. So to summarize it all up, basically, I rewire the brain using neuroplasticity to be optimal. So I guess that's where we come under the neuroplastician name.
I got it. It's a field I very, very interested in and curious about for sure.
Yeah. How about you? How about you, John?
Well, we overlapped a little that I've had an obsession with time perception, chronoception being the technical term, for a decade and a half, and how the brain processes time, how it constructs time, with the thesis of the upcoming book being that the currency of time is memories. So
Okay. Yeah.
Your
as
reason.
Abraham Lincoln put it, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years.
So I meant you actually froze for a little bit there. It sounded interesting.
Oh.
So the currency of time is memory. I love that. And how do you work with memory?
Well, so the thesis of the upcoming book is that we can design our lives to write, store, and recall more memories and on a fairly grand scale. And so if, X amount of memories equals a normal lifetime, if you can have X squared memories, you're going to have
Yeah,
exponentially more perceptive life. Simple as that.
interesting. Yeah,
And there's
yeah,
ways to do that. There's ways to trick the brain to do that. And the simplest, I was telling Emily, I got cut off, is you kind of have to live life like an 8-year-old. There's a reason 8-year-olds write, store, and recall so many memories, because everything's new, scary, exciting, wonderful, terrible. They cry a lot. Everything's unique. They're highly emotionally resonant. They're physically active. They find beauty in all kinds of new places, and in the right environments, they get in the flow state a lot. So those are the 6 key drivers super fast. But I am curious in your field. My father passed of Alzheimer's.
Okay.
How do you work with, or how can you work with emerging diabetes 3?
Yeah. I'm trying to get my volume a little bit louder here. So basically, the program rewires lots of things happen. So dementia. Actually, we've had people, talk about memory. It might be a different perspective of your memory, but we've had people regain their short-term memory, long-term memory very quickly. We flood the brain with, again, very simple exercises of I like to say simple enough for a 5-year-old, but tough enough for Navy SEALs. So very simple, but we increase blood flow through the brain. So when we increase blood flow through the brain, a lot of memory loss has happened because the capillaries that feed the neurons have dried out. As we get older, that happens. So when we rejuvenate those capillaries, we re-energize those neurons and actually can create neurogenesis, according to some of the neuroscientists that have helped me. So Alzheimer's, it's kind of a physical issue as well, but we can train the brain to rewire around damage, to really re-energize those connections that underlie memory, function, focus, all those kind of things. And going back to what you were talking about, I read about an experiment. I don't know if you've heard of it, that I thought was pretty interesting. The whole idea of extending life with memory, where they took older people, I guess they were in their 70s or 80s, and they put them in a long way. They took it to like a retreat, but everything on the walls, everything was where they were like when they were in their 30, the younger ages. And so all the memories, all the pictures, everything was back when they were younger, and they actually physically got healthier. When they came out, they were healthier, right? I thought it was fascinating how, and going along with what you're saying, associating those memories to maybe the time of our life when those memories were more vibrant. Is that what you're talking about?
So that's Ellen Langer's study, also her book called Counterclockwise, which is also going to be the name of my book, but that's okay. It was quite some time ago. But yeah, so I think that the learning from her study is that, we know key drivers of health span and lifespan, and, not smoking, of course, better. Not being obese, better. Exercise, even better. Being social, even better. But according to a Yale study, which sort of corroborates the non-statistical study you referenced, because it was only like 9 or 11 men, I think. But Yale did a long-term study, longitudinal study, statistically significant. And, I don't know how they control for various exogenous factors, but, what they concluded was that the most important driver of health span and lifespan is simply your perception of aging itself. Some people that felt younger were simply younger, and it's a placebo effect on like the grandest scale. If I think I'm old, I am. If I think I'm young, I am. You know, little Descartes.
Yeah, yeah. The old saying, right? You're as young as you feel, or as young as you think
Yeah,
you are, right?
yeah.
So, wow.
That's a great study. I got a question for you. I know we're
Sure.
running out of time here, but so I have opinion on this, but I'm not going to share it because I'm probably wrong. But uh, in the field, at least in the treatment care handbook for dementia, a lot of the conventional wisdom is to create a safe space where everything's in its place. You know, minimize uh, distractions, minimize intrusions, minimize change to routine.
Yeah. So,
What are your
so,
thoughts on that as a
well,
treatment
yeah,
protocol? Or,
it's like every program out there that's if you want to improve your focus, remove your distractions, right? Well, this is a kind of thing that you can't. So we train the brain to be focused in distractions. We focus, so we by training the brain to be more focused, think faster, make better decisions under stress, regardless of what the situation is, it's much more powerful than trying to control the environment. So now with whatever environment you're in, you're going to be able to perform better. Um, and I'd love to connect with you offline. If you've got
yeah,
an email, I can send you a link and I
yeah,
can actually even give you a demonstration of my program if you'd like, how it works.
yeah, I would definitely love that. You're gonna send me a link in the chat, maybe?
Yeah, let me do that. Let me
I'll put my email there
let me
as
come
well.
over here and I'll put the link in. Let me waiting for it to come up here. All right, here we go. So I'll put this link in the chat and yeah, give us a chance. Just go on my calendar. We'll set up a Zoom and
Yeah,
then I'll take you through part of my program. And then John at johncoyle.com. Okay.
awesome. I'll definitely book some time for this week or next. And
Yeah,
whenever
that
you're ready.
sounds great. That sounds great. I'd
Where
love to
are
do
you?
that. I'm actually in Las Vegas. How about you?
Oh, we're just leaving Las Vegas. We just left an hour, 2 hours ago. We're on our way to Laguna Beach.
Oh, okay, nice. Nice.
Sort of
Yeah.
splitting time currently. I have a place in both places, but the heat is brutal, as you know.
Yeah, it's 110 today here, so
Yeah, it's 114 where we are.
oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Yeah, it's yeah, I try to get out every day, but it's morely in the morning and evenings these days in the
Yeah,
middle of the
absolutely.
day.
Absolutely.
But well, John, this has been great. I'm glad kind of running out of time. I'm glad we got a chance to meet. Let's meet offline and continue the conversation. I'd really like to learn more about the whole idea you're talking about, perception of time and
Yeah,
how that
no, I would love to interview you for my book.
love to. Let me
I'll
actually go to
do
your
a,
website.
I call it a great piece, but it's thoughts from an expert outside. That's not me, basically, about the contents of that particular chapter. So we'll figure that out, and you'll be with some of my favorite neuroscientists, like David Eagleman and Marianne and a couple other fun people. So we can definitely figure out where that goes and hopefully make that happen.
Yeah. No, that would be awesome. So
So
I just
Emily, are
went
we
to your
at
website.
time?
I'm sorry?
I don't. I think we might be at time. I believe this show was supposed to go till
Yeah, and
12:15.
I'm having trouble hearing you a lot as well. I don't know if it's my speaker
Okay,
or
sorry.
yours, but
Well, I'm in
well,
a car, so there's that.
um, so cool. So I just went to your website real quick. So johncoyle.com, you're a musician?
No, I'm johnkcoyle.com.
Oh, okay, missed you. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. I will well, I'll go through your website too and yeah.
awesome. Well, Emily, I've got to sign off. Do you need anything else from me
Yeah,
before we-
no, yeah, thanks, Emily.
No, I think I'm good. Thank you guys, both of you, for coming. And
Yeah.
both of you are welcome back anytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love the conversation with both of you. So, yeah.
Have a
So,
great week.
keep cool. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
triple digit weather out there.
Exactly. Well, have a great rest of your weekend, both of you. We'll be in touch.
All right. Talk to you
Thanks a
soon.
lot.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Emily.
You too.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, so John, what's new with you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I did close out. So good to see you, Emily. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank everybody again for coming. And we are here every Saturday at 1 o'clock Central, to have you at any point during the conversation. And if you want to reach out to me, contact me on social medias or at 608-886-9801 and or at worldofability2020@gmail.com. And I'll see everybody next week.